For months now, the state legislature of Delaware has been debating whether the town of Seaford should be allowed to let corporations vote directly in elections. Like literally. Don't mean contributing to candidates, running ads, support. No, literally, the entity, the business entity would vote as if it was a person. Somewhere Mitt Romney is loving this. Corporations are people, it turns out, potentially. Well, we have an update. Delaware House of Representatives has now voted in favor of the corporations, allowing them to directly vote as if they were humans. Now, that's not the end of it. We do need to find out what the Delaware Senate is going to do, but it is certainly not looking good. The Republicans are pushing hard for this, and the Democrats seem to be perfectly willing to allow it to happen. So if you haven't been following this, we're gonna catch you up a little bit. In April, the town of Seaford amended its charter to give LLCs, corporations, trusts, or partnerships the right to vote in local elections. Now, you probably have long thought of voting as a one person, one vote sort of thing, but now it will be one person, entity, one vote. Someday we'll be broadcasting, 20 years from now, it'll be one person, entity, instance of ChatGPT that's allowed to vote. You don't think they'll do it? This is where they're at right now. Under the proposal, corporate entities must register as voters within City Hall and include a list of their beneficial owners. City officials are then intended to cross-check these lists with resident voter rolls to prevent double voting. So in theory, if this system works the way it's supposed to, you would not have a corporation and the corporation's CEO both voting. But if the CEO doesn't even live there, effectively still gets a vote, even though again, it's not a person. So anyway, look, that's an issue. Philosophically, ideologically, this seems like incredibly dangerous territory to be entering into, but it's also substantively terrible territory to be entering into for Seaford because it is a very small town. Just 340 people there voted in the most recent elections on April 15th. The bill would potentially provide as many as 234 votes to businesses in the community, which means that if it ever came down to the people versus the corporations would have an okay chance of winning out. Anyway, the Delaware state legislature has taken up and then removed the bill multiple times. Yesterday, they actually voted against it, and then the Republicans pulled their trump card. They staged a walkout on Thursday night after blocking passage of Delaware's proposed $1.4 billion capital budget. That was an attempt to force the Democrats to now support this, and it worked. The legislative session was about to end, and so the Democrats either didn't have much time or secretly don't have that big of a problem with it. I don't know which is the case, but the end result is the same. They've given their stamp of approval to this sort of thing. But don't worry, I'm sure it will never spread to any other towns or cities or states. This will be where it ends.
Yeah, so this is an excellent microcosm of the lunatic state of our politics in America. So already in 17 different jurisdictions in Delaware, LLCs can vote. In one case, a guy voted for 31 different LLCs he had set up, and himself. I think he voted 32 times. And then that's why they had to put in another provision going, well, we do want corporations to run everything, but this one makes us look a little awkward, right? So we're gonna say, all right, we're gonna roll that back. You can only vote once for a corporation, which then leads to a great question that one of our members asked on another day that we covered this story. Who gets to vote for the corporation? Because the corporation is not actually a person. I know they're saying by law they're people and they're above people. They're like gods now, right? And they have all of our rights plus extra corporate rights. But who is it? Is it the secretary? Is it the CEO?
The board?
Is it the board? Is
shareholders?
Is it the editor? Who is it, right? And so this is absurd. It's insanity. But to John's point about, hey, there's 234 corporations that in Seaford, they could easily outvote the population because the population is gonna be split on most votes anyway, right? And the corporation is just whatever's to their advantage. Like, hey, we're gonna pay zero taxes. Hey, look at that, all 234 corporations agree, right? And so they can outvote people. So why would the politicians allow the corporations to control who wins every election? Oh, because they're the same corrupt politicians that are proposing these laws. That means they're already in corporate back pocket. And if they're servants of the corporate class, which they obviously are. I mean, they're passing these insane, certifiably insane laws saying, oh yeah, corporation is a human being and has constitutional rights. Oh yeah, sure. That guy is already 100% corrupt. And if he thinks, hey, if my corporate donors that just bribed me now can vote, they don't even need, we can cut out the middleman. Democracy's dead, I rule forever because I'm already serving them. So, and it's not just Republicans. So Republicans do this. And by the way, hey, if you're a Republican out there and you thought you were with the Populist Party and the Democrats were the elitists, well, joke's on you. The Republicans are 10,000 times more corrupt, and the Democrats are plenty corrupt. I'm getting to them, okay? But the Republicans are like, no, we serve corporate America, corporations, we love you. Take our rights, and we don't want them. Oh, the rich win again, yes! That's who Republican politicians are, period. Look at them. They're like, you're not gonna let corporations vote? How dare you? Then the average American might win. We don't want the average American winning. We're walking out. We're enraged. So what do the loser Democrats do? Because they're corrupt too. It's good cop, bad cop. They're just playing a game on you, right? The Democrats could put together a press conference and say, these Republicans, show their faces, give their names and go, think that corporations are people and should outvote you. Should outvote you. And you know how many people think that corporations are actual people that should be able to outvote you, even if you take it to Republican voters. And here there's a giant distinction between Republican politicians and Republican voters. If you take it to the Republican voters and go, hey, you want to give away your vote to a company that's kicking your ass and taking your wages and taking away your dignity and respect? They're gonna go, no, that's stupid, I don't want that. The Democratic voters hate it and don't want it at all. But look at that, the Democratic politicians, instead of fighting back on an issue where they'd have about 90% approval, they're like, oh, there was nothing we could do. They walked out. I mean, what could we do, fight back? I guess we had to surrender to the same donors. We're the good cops though, we're the good cops. It passed the Delaware House, not the Alabama House. Yeah. Delaware is theoretically a blue state.
Yeah, I think that's partly why it's so concerning. But also, like, if churches are going to be voting in secular governmental elections, are they going to be paying taxes too? Are the corporations going to be paying the taxes that they're already supposed to be paying and maybe aren't paying? This takes us one step closer to the United States of America Incorporated. Every day, Americans are struggling for representation in our government, and we are being fought at every turn. I live in Texas. I know all about this, whether that's through gerrymandering and redistricting, or more stringent voter ID laws, or more stringent ballot application processes, or less access to polling locations. Meanwhile, these companies are all about to get an official voice in our government. Hopefully it doesn't spread beyond Delaware, but I think we can all see the writing on the wall as far as that's concerned. And by the way, we're already out here trying to assert our humanity against AIs. Things are rough out here for human beings.
Yep.
Corporations are not people, they're run by people, and those people are already voting in elections. So I don't understand why they would get double representation in this way. This is just another example of moneyed interests having unfair advantages in what's supposed to be a democratic society. This is akin to buying votes, and it opens up the door for a lot of corruption and potentially even to foreign intervention in our local elections.
Yeah, look, I don't understand why they would get double votes, but I also don't understand why they get double donations, why they get double speech insofar as money is speech. I agree with you, by the way, that they would not win an argument where they're like, do you want to give your right away to a corporation? Which is why they don't engage in that argument. They instead say, hey, look, there's a trans field hockey player, go get him. Yeah. And then you don't actually have that conversation. I will also say, if one vote, one person, one vote can become one person, one entity, one vote, and we theoretically live in a representative democracy, a republic, where your elected leaders are supposed to be reflective, representative of the voter base. Well, in Seaford, the voting base very soon will be like 40% corporations. So how far of a leap is it to say that their representation should reflect that? Why can't you run a corporation as the candidate? I mean, it sounds crazy, but I also never thought they'd give Nestle the ability to vote in a direct election. So I don't know, maybe some point they will cut out the middleman, not only of the voter, but also of the politicians that they buy, and they'll just take the spots themselves.
John, the brilliant point, Yasmin, also brilliant point. So I'm looking forward to President ExxonMobil That should be fun for everybody. And Timothy Pulliam also with an excellent point. He's a member of ours on YouTube, and we love doing the show with our members, so hit the join button below. Said, time to start a bunch of LLCs. Ding, 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 there we go. I wish TYT had more resources, because I would literally organize 2 things for you guys. I would organize you guys all setting up LLCs in Delaware, okay? And that's not that hard a thing to do. And put them in Seaford, and let's have 1,000 progressive LLCs. And by the way, you don't have to live there. That's part of the magic of these rules. So the guys with the LLCs, they don't even live in Delaware. They live in they can live in Timbuktu, it doesn't matter, right? So wherever you are, you can set up an LLC in Delaware and be like, okay, now I'm voting. And look at that, we have 1,000 progressive LLCs. What are you gonna do now?
Nice.
Huh? What are you gonna do? What I thought corporations were people, my friend, okay? And secondly, Yasmin's point about churches. Yeah, these guys are insane. They have churches voting. Who votes at the church? Is it a parishioner? Is it the deacon? Is it a pastor? By the way, is it an imam? Oh, wait a minute. If churches are human beings, are mosques human beings? How about we set up 1,000 mosques in Seashore, Delaware? Why not? Why not? Now everybody's voting. How about couches? I'm gonna send my couch to vote in Delaware because as long as we're making up stuff. You know what? Guys, pull up the picture. I think these are the next folks who should control Delaware's elections, okay? So go ahead, put them up. There they are.
Oh my God.
Okay, Squishmallows are now citizens and can vote. Who votes for them? I don't know. Who votes for a company? Who votes for a church? Same person that's gonna vote for the Squishmallow, all right? And it is what it is. Okay, hey, as long as we're in Alice in Wonderland and you guys are making up crap, okay, let's do it.
Hashtag squish the vote. Ridiculous.
That's catchy. I like that.
Yeah, oh my God, the world we live in.
Okay, I'm not playing. If they keep this up, we're gonna go set up thousands of corporations and mosques. And I guarantee, here's one thing that'll turn people around right away. A couple of mosques voting, and put that on Fox News, and all of a sudden they're like, what is this? We didn't expect this. We thought only Christians got to vote twice. Okay, okay, all of a sudden, get your ass in line now. People are people, human beings are human beings, not corporations or churches or however else you want to rig an election because you hate democracy. By the way, chapter 4 of my book is all about this, how corporations slowly took over our government. We live under corporate goddamn rule, and they took over the Republican Party, and most importantly, also the Democratic Party. TYT.com/justice to pre-order the book.
Nice.
And see how we got into this crazy world to begin with, and chapter 5 explains it, because the media is the matrix, the most important corporate machine that goes, no, I don't see anything wrong. Corporations voting, I don't think that's a big issue. I think that's normal. Corporations giving millions of dollars to politicians. Oh, that's not a bribe. They were just talking to them. Oh, where did that money wind up? Oh, wound up in ads at my company. Oh, did it? Am I the biggest benefactor of corruption? Is that why I don't see it at all? And I think corporations and Squishmallows should be allowed to vote? Oh, I guess I'm the matrix, right? That's American mainstream media for you, corporate media. That's chapter 5. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.